clouds outside. 'Cause everybody is posting and posting. Snapshot of a wish, but the story's told. I can't stand on a detail, it's a fail. Baby, let's go home. Because there's so many posters to follow. They hope we're tuning in, God, we're missing out. Getting hit to the metronome machine gun. It's time for shutting down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MASL in the Box Live with your hosts, Adam, Matt, and Gio.
Everybody get.
Good evening.
Good evening,
MASL
everybody.
In the box.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Wow. So should we just start off the show by saying, so most of you guys know I usually work until 9 o'clock and I'm driving at this point and I'm always late. Well, the tides turned today. I was here on time and someone, I don't know where they are on the thing, but someone was driving while I was home.
But I made it on time.
On time.
Yeah.
No one knew I wasn't here.
Now they do. Because Matt just told everybody.
I just
I was here when the show started.
All right, how's everything looking sound out there? I got a weird message from YouTube. Somebody let me know in the chat.
Oh,
Dennis said nice kits. Adam
nice
and Matt.
what? Nice what?
Nice kits.
Oh, kits. Okay.
yeah.
He didn't say anything about Geo, so I'm assuming that.
Well, I mean, that's
No. He said kits with an S.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said
but
nice kits, Matt and Adam.
No.
Yeah, look at the chat.
Oh, hold on. Dennis, I can't believe you right now.
Well, you have a nice jersey up on your thing. So, I mean, there's
know.
that.
I should always get nice kits.
Yeah. You know what I need is an Ontario kit.
I need an Ontario kit and a KC kit.
Yes,
Yes.
me too. Yes.
Well, the KC ones are like,
Hey, my man, Brad. I see that.
they're like $60, I think, right now. I think they're doing some sort of deal. You can customize it or something. But yeah, speaking of kits, I got 2 new ones in the mail today. One of the San Diego Sockers ones, and then Lucas Almeida from the Ambush.
Very
I
nice.
did not put them on because they are too small. This frame cannot handle it.
Minor issue there.
Yeah, it's a minor detail. When you're barely able to put your head into it, you know it's time.
Yeah. It's time to buy. You need the Adrian Gutierrez jersey to be sure.
Yes. This is Andre Braithwaite's from last season. So before we even start, I just wanted to wish Henry, my son, happy 5th birthday. From myself, I'm sure the guys will say happy birthday as well. But happy birthday, buddy! I love you. Yeah. So
Happy birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday, Henry. Now, is today his official birthday or what?
Today Official birthday. Yep.
Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
5 years old.
It's crazy.
I remember when I was, no, I don't.
I have a hard time remembering what I did 5 days ago, let alone 5 years.
I was actually.
Well, I know what I did 5 years ago, but
I was actually like, no funny, not to be funny, but I was actually coming to America when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
oh, that reminds me, I got to watch the sequel. I think I'm watching it Thursday.
No. Forget about that. Did you know there's a new Tom and Jerry movie out?
There is.
It's like a cartoon life imposed thing. I
It
gotta find a
is.
way to
I
watch
haven't
it.
seen it though.
Neither have I. So what's our show about anyway?
I have no idea.
We have some anniversaries.
We do.
Both of them are not very good.
One is kind of funny.
1 year ago today was the last wave game of the season. And as some people posted that I saw over, little did we know that it was good, what it was going to happen. Like we left that game fully so it was a Sunday. I was fully expecting having my surgery on Thursday. And I think Friday night there was a game. Maybe it was a Friday away game, and then Sunday or Saturday or Sunday there was Blast were coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. That's what it was. We were going to St. Louis. Wait, something happened. Oh, hey, did you guys know? In the Box is live now. Thank you, YouTube.
I got the notification like maybe 2 or 3 minutes in.
I missed a meeting at work last week on Thursday, and I got kind of ragged on about it. It's a fun little like happy hour meeting that we have every week. I got the meeting notification for it Friday at noon for a meeting that was Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Oh, thanks. Hello, everybody in the chat. There's a whole bunch of people, and I bet everyone's here for the corn dog. Did anyone
Mr.
else?
Corn Dog.
Did anyone else? Okay, so we are. I think our corn dog entries are in. I think we have our entry. I don't remember what time I said that I was stopping them. I think 8:30, and it's already 8:30.
Sorry.
It's been 8:30 for about like an hour or so.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure how that works, but sure.
East Coast time.
Yeah.
So,
we know.
is your name Ontario fan La Sharon? Said in my extremely white Midwestern accent. Because I've seen your posts for a number of years and we talked back and forth a while, but I have never heard your voice said all out. Oh, I got it right. Congratulations, me.
Small victory, Adam. Small victory.
Yeah. You are officially added to the corn dog thing. All right. How do we want to do this first? Do you want to get Cliff and Lucie on first, or want to? Because we'll pick the corn dog winner at 9 my time, so we got 20 minutes.
Oh, whatever. Do we want to? Well, I thought we were talking about. We talked about one anniversary.
Oh, there's another anniversary we're going to talk about. I just sent the link. So 6 months ago, at the end of August, we had a person on who is running the indoor soccer alumni page selling scarves, and that was their fundraiser. It's the 6-month anniversary of not getting a single thing except for an email in November saying the scarves are running late. So yay, happy anniversary.
I wish I had confetti, but I
That sucks for you guys.
I have to use tissue.
I have a glasses cleaner. Oh shit.
I didn't buy one, so
Well,
I could pop some champagne, but I mean, there's candy in here, and it doesn't really.
I can't celebrate this anniversary with you guys.
There he is. Nice background. Do you remember when
thanks.
turf?
Oh, never mind.
You remember?
Oh no, you're Cliff. Your camera was perfect right where it was. So if you want to move it back to your left a little ways, that'd be great.
Remember when the turf was that dark?
That was like the first year.
Yeah.
I like how Cliff is almost like blending in with the
You're
turf.
muted.
Cliff is like
One word. Oh, we're playing charades. Okay, one word. Perfect. Yes. There we
transparent.
Mute.
go. Blast.
There we are. No,
Let's go.
I think it's blast.
Blast.
Okay. We have a 5-second rule that if you can't figure it out in 5 seconds, we just wait another 5 seconds.
That's true. And then we go back to the beginning of that and
How is the audio feed? Am I too loud?
What?
Oh my God, don't do this to me.
Sounds fine to me. So
I'm waiting for I hate you guys.
So we're
I'm
using
keeping
Zoom, which is a horrible platform. I want to use a new platform called OBS, but the only way to get stuff into OBS is through Skype. So we're going to try that at some point. And then we can do all sorts of cool stuff.
Ooh, cool stuff.
Cool stuff is fun. So that was Cliff and Lucie.
My Skype account.
Yeah, that was quick. Thanks guys for being on the show.
Yeah.
And
I'm awake, Dave. I'm just really tired.
So
did we think that each team was going to win a game this weekend?
I mean, it could be. Every team has pretty much beaten every other team so far.
Wait, every team won a... Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Except for Dallas.
Leave my
Well,
Dallas.
Dallas didn't play this weekend.
Can we just talk about how Dallas has a chance to win the trophy?
As good a chance as I do.
Aaron De La Rosa made a comment today. He's like, so are what do you say? Like the Pennsylvania Roar, the Silver Knights, like all of these other teams, they also have a chance of winning the playoffs.
That's true.
Go Silver Knights.
There was a yeah. So
I'm gonna tell the team you tattooed on you about the Silver Knights.
Huh?
So I'm gonna tell the Silver Utica about the Silver Knights.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
They're restarting the computer, so let's kill some time here. Let's get into the.
I got something to kill time with.
Okay.
So for those of you following La Liga Mexicana de Fútbol Rápido, or if I say it in my American accent, wait, I don't know how to say it in an American accent. Never mind.
Mexican
Anyways,
football.
LMFR, they are entering their playoff phase. The Northeast Division specifically is going to feature Matt's favorite team from down south, which is Monclova. They're going to be playing. First of all, let me just name the first team. Monclova's in, Marlin's in, Matamoros is in, and the last team is Reynosa. So Reynosa and Monclova will play, and then Club Marlins and Matamoros will play. So that will be this weekend, and the winner of these playoffs, supposedly, because they're still trying to figure things out, as all good indoor and arena teams do, leagues do, are trying to figure out if they'll be able to play divisional games for the national tournament, if they can play the national tournament. So it will be the winner of the regional and the semifinalists going to play the winner and semifinalists of the North Division. But stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted. There's some great games coming up. If you're going to watch them, if you can understand Spanish or just want to tag along for the fun, great games to watch.
I don't understand Spanish, and there's some announcers I'd rather watch than the MASL ones.
They're so exciting. Some of them are really exciting. And
they don't have the Brian Ackley.
They don't have the Brian Ackley at all.
Ian Bennett.
Pass down.
They're super exciting. And some of the guys that your MASL teams play there. So if you like Christian Segura.
And a goal.
I like them, yeah.
They just scored a goal.
Now?
Yes. Welcome.
All right. Thanks. Had a bit of a snafu with the computer.
That's okay. We'll dock it from your pay.
Awesome. I have to pay $4 for the $3 beer now.
Right.
Oh, hey, inflation.
Right.
I had a friend tell me about a audio plugin for sale yesterday, and he said, "Oh, it's great! It's only $4." And he did the conversion from euros to US dollars backwards. So instead of it being $4, it was $7.47. So took that off his pay. So going into the weekend, did anybody know that St. Louis does not have a backup keeper anymore?
Yeah, you texted me that this week. That's the only reason why I knew.
I was looking at the roster and I'm like, why do they not have a backup keeper? And St. Louis released Brett Petrusek on Friday.
Wow.
So weird.
Really? How did I miss that?
Because you don't pay enough attention.
Damn it.
We're docking your pay too.
I already work for free.
Well, then you owe us money.
Yeah.
Now you owe me a beer.
There you
Right.
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Turn around as fair play.
True.
How did that happen? I wonder why they never mind. Let's not gossip.
Well, I mean, I've heard some things. I've heard that he's quit on teams before, and I've heard that he's had temper tantrums when he thinks he should be playing, and the team is starting other people. And I think Everton's not going to take any of that crap. And see ya.
Yeah.
It's
I
my
could see that.
guess. I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I
The
could-
other thing that was weird is Waltman made the trip, but didn't play.
And dress.
Didn't even dress. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a baseball cap and a warm up.
Right.
I think Waltman's accepting the role of the coach,
Backup.
like
Oh.
while Nick is on the field. 'Cause,
Yeah.
He's the assistant coach, so I think he's accepting it. And I mean, he's trying to help Chris, Toth grow. So I mean, I don't see why not. It's a great transition for him.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he played. Is it this week that they're
Yeah.
all out west? So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he played at least one of those games.
So I don't know if you guys heard Tacoma starting before the weekend, 5 games in 8 days.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough go of it here. Lucy was doing some math earlier today in the car when we were discussing just the fact that what all starts up on Wednesday and then culminates on Sunday this week equates to 3 games in 72 hours or so for Ontario.
Yeah.
Of course, they do have their home field, which is nice. No fans, but they get to go back to the comforts of home.
Yes.
And like Nick Vassos and Eric were saying, it's they get to be home. They're sleeping in their own bed. They're not traveling. They can practice the whole time instead of having to travel, miss some practice time. And the East teams can see what it's like, specifically Florida.
Well, that's what's really going to be interesting is
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
or
I mean,
Wednesday night's
starting
game.
Wednesday and then seeing Florida have to go against Ontario and then Tacoma. That should be a good couple of games right there. Not to hijack this discussion, but you mentioned Nick and Eric, and how great have those two been this year? Talk about, I mentioned last time I was on about my love for the game growing, and those two just continue to make it even greater. They're so much fun to listen to.
It's really funny you should mention that, and no, we did not plan this. But let me just play something for you.
Granatella begrudgingly accepted the playoff
wait.
news. So, and Adam Granatella begrudgingly accepted the playoff news. So, just stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Wait for it.
Have a corn dog, Adam.
Nick Vassos, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds about
Nick
right.
Vassos with the "Have a corn dog, Adam" line. The greatest thing ever.
Literally, as soon as that happened, I just died laughing, and then like 10 seconds later, I called Adam, and we're both like laughing hysterically.
It was amazing.
So nonchalant, just like have a corn dog, Adam.
Right.
Right.
It's like press announcer voice. Have a corn dog, Adam.
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine it going.
Yeah, again, I didn't mean to sidetrack what we were doing here, but it just really is nice to hear those two on the call. It's almost become, I don't want to say painful to hear others, but
I don't think whenever there's a Kansas City,
to hear others.
whenever there's a Kansas City game on and then another game on, we always have to listen to the Kansas City game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just as cool as the other side of the pillow as quickly as they're able to call the game and, interact with one another and then jump on social media the way Eric does that without missing a beat of even calling the game too. I mean, it's quite, and it was also interesting to hear some of the background with with how Nick was discovered and his 1st
Mhm.
game at the Bradley Center. I mean, just to hear some of that stuff, some great history.
And it's not like they even like when they tell the stories, they don't miss anything either.
Yeah,
In
don't miss a
action, they like somehow find ways to like sneak that in and not miss things. It's insane.
That's good broadcasting. So
Yeah.
we can go back to the other discussion. I just thought those two deserve a quick shout out because they're so
No.
great.
I heard a rumor early on that all the playoff games were going to be in KC. I was like, absolutely, that would be the best thing ever. And maybe even take like Craig Elston and fly him out there and have him announce a game at KC or something, and mix it up. But I thought that was a great idea. And of course, that is not going to be what's going to happen. We have a whole playoff rant we're going to go on when you guys are off.
Perfect.
So let's talk about the games.
Yeah.
So hang on, let me backtrack here.
We got fireworks to kick it off on Wednesday.
Wait,
I wish
do we talk about
Are we recapping?
You want to recap first, or do you want to do picks first?
I don't care.
It'll be 9 o'clock, so I don't know.
At 9 o'clock, I have to pick a winner for the corn dog thing.
Yeah.
I just heard a rumor across my desk that the Petrocek thing may have been he wasn't comfortable with the whole COVID and testing and things. So if that's the case, I take back everything I said about him because I think he was a great keeper.
He was.
We love Petrocek too here. Big Petrocek fans, I think.
I think Paulo is going to get burned with one of his let's go stand on the top of the arc and play 6 attacker kind of thing. I think, and he already has been, but it hasn't really cost him a game yet. But I think it's going to happen.
I think we will see that, but the other thing that helps is that the team that he plays on helps pressure the right way. So like where he sits high, someone drops in behind him. So I think that helps out. But we'll say that for when we start talking about the games. Sorry.
Yeah. So first game to not to bring up too much pain for my St. Louis fan friends. Ouch. I mean, the Fury came in
this year, so
we didn't really know what was going to happen with the Fury, and they just dominated. And if you look, like Dennis, I know you didn't listen to the game, but we all heard him. Like Matt Bird was like, we didn't do anything wrong. I thought we played a great game. I'm like, your defense didn't even realize the game started until you were down by 4 goals. Like,
and 5 and then 6.
Yeah, they couldn't put passes together. Dennis said Friday did not happen. Aaron, I have not seen any new signings for keepers. Actually, I haven't seen any transactions since Friday. If you go to the MASLsoccer.com site, go to stats and transactions. That's where they store all these things. Now, granted, sometimes they can be a little bit behind, but they've hired some people, and I know that they've been on top of things much better. Yeah, LaSharon says one of the best seasons for the Fury this year. It's like last year. So what happened to them last year is what we thought was going to happen to Florida. And then halfway through the season, everything clicked and they just took off, and they've been doing this ever since.
Right.
Well, I mean, once we get to Sunday, it kind of goes down just a little bit.
I don't even know if I could say that because I mean,
I can. I will.
KC pulled it out for whatever they had left, but we'll get into Sunday in this.
Why don't we just skip Friday because everyone knows what happened. Fury wins by a lot. St. Louis.
No, but so wait, hold on. I do want to make a comment to that. St. Louis. St. Louis found some momentum, and then they just let it go. Like that's. I don't know if I want to say they were either worried about the games coming or they just relied on non-experienced players to carry the team that failed. I don't know what happened there, but it doesn't, they can't go to the playoffs with that kind of mentality. And granted, they kind of picked it up in the next game, but if we were to just pick this game and take this mentality into the playoffs.
Oh, that would be, yeah.
And it's crazy because you saw that happen with Florida, right? They fell apart in the first game, and then that second game they picked it up. Yeah. Well, they do that in the playoffs, it's not going to happen. They're out.
Right. Yeah.
I think a lot of I think there's going to be a common theme with this weekend. It's night and day. I mean, you look at St. Louis. I mean, one game they played awful. We'll get into Sunday's game. They played great. You look at Tacoma, the same thing. You look at, I mean, I don't think there was any consistency this weekend.
Right.
There's not been a whole lot of consistency, I think, the whole season. We were talking about this earlier too. Like, it's so hard. I mean Ontario kind of, but it's been so hard to like pick who's gonna win. Cause like, even I was looking at it because I wrote down like if the teams have played already, I wrote down what the score was last time they played. I looked at it. Ambush and Sidekicks played this weekend. Sidekicks, Ambush only beat them 8-7. Like,
Right.
and then Florida goes and like kicks Dallas's butt, but then St. Louis could beat Florida. Like, it's just a whole different like.
And Dallas almost beat Florida again, didn't they?
Yeah, they did in that overtime. They went to overtime with Florida, so you never know. You don't know.
Yeah,
I think so.
This season puts what this game is in the forefront. With any team can win it any night. It just depends on who shows up.
Maybe except Dallas.
Great.
Dallas has come close.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, but Dallas beat a WISL team, so there's that.
True. So what was the next game? It was
So the next game was
for the season.
Was it Tacoma KC?
So what we said on last Monday was that all these games this past weekend had a potential to be huge games and really exciting, and absolutely did they deliver. KC, so Stars came out, scored right away. Stars came out, scored right away again.
Yeah.
Gibson does what Gibson does, and he scored to bring him back. And then the Stars get up 5-1. And this was 5 minutes into the third. And then something weird happened. Stars stopped playing.
Mm-hmm.
They just went back.
But it's not really weird for this season.
Right. Well, yeah, right. But the Stars just went back into this weird defensive shell and stopped pressuring. And it's like, okay, sure, I see it 5-1, a quarter and a half left or whatever. And then Casey scores. Rayleigh. And then Rayleigh scores again.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, now they have to come out of their shell. Yeah, now they have to come out of their shell. They never did.
Yeah.
They just, so they were up 5-1 and lost 6-5.
No, they won 6-5.
They won 6-5.
No, Tacoma was up 5-1 and they lost 6-5.
So they never moved after
Tacoma won 6-5.
No, Tacoma won 6-5.
Yeah, Tacoma won 6-5.
Every team won this weekend.
Yeah, Tacoma won with a late goal.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. I read this. Yeah, I read this wrong. Okay.
So now you're flipping your games because now the very similar thing happened the next time or the next day with Ontario and KC, who also Ontario then gets up to the big lead, and then here comes KC again. Only this time they were able to actually flip the table.
So I flipped my games to the Ambush versus Stars.
Yeah.
So Friday, so Saturday night's game with KC, they had the comeback going, and I think if they wouldn't have scored the sixth attacker goal, it would have been an overtime game.
Vinny had a hat trick in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, great game by Vinny, and I'll mention something later on, but it's a common theme with this week. I mean, that's why I said inconsistency was the key.
All right.
I think the little bit I did catch of that game, because I didn't catch much. It was my mom's birthday. Don't attack me.
We didn't catch many games.
You're seeing your dog ate your homework.
Oh, that's gonna be my excuse tomorrow. But yeah, the little I did catch of the game, I did see Tacoma moving the ball very well, positioning, ball possession. It was something I haven't seen much from the Stars, but in glimpses. This was kind of a more complete game than I saw.
Yeah,
it reminded me of what we saw.
Offensively, they're starting to get it, and that's what Vinny said in his interview. He said offensively they haven't really gelled yet.
Yeah.
But they might want to start doing that.
We saw Gutierrez this weekend altogether play more active role instead of his.
Yeah,
reserve.
Eddie Na had a great weekend.
He
There was
did.
a guy, Spur,
Yep.
Yeah.
Willie
Spur.
Spur.
Willie
Yep.
Spur, had a couple of goals this weekend. So I
love that.
think Tacoma's starting to get it. And I mean, you've got two great keepers in the back. So
Yeah.
I love
what a
that
good way to
interview.
catch fire is to win some games this weekend.
Agreed.
What were we gonna say, Matt or Cliff?
I just was saying how much I love that Vinny interview because he was able to really put into words and conceptualize the difference between the East Coast play and the West Coast play, because he himself has been trying to adapt to it. So that was really fascinating to hear this East Coast guy now adapting to the West Coast style of play. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying because I like to take a little break at halftime and catch up on email and message. I mean, but I can't do that with the KC broadcast because you just don't want to miss that stuff.
Yeah.
I usually watch a halftime show at halftime, but there wasn't one this weekend. So
Well, we chose not to. Just because
of that reason.
because
of
we knew the
Kansas City.
Tayu brothers were going to be on, and we know how well those two guys, put together a halftime piece. It's not like St. Louis where you hear the Calafino commercial 7 times and you got that countdown of 15
Or
minutes.
even Florida. Like I'm gonna be excited to see what Ontario's, but we might be, it's Pacific, so I mean game starts at
It's going to be a late
8
night
o'clock.
for me. I struggle to stay up late,
I mean
especially on a school night.
I don't
so
have
it's
school
rough.
tomorrow, so I might be awake on Wednesday night.
Well, Cliff, don't you have to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to school by 6 or whatever?
No, my alarm usually goes off at like 4:50 something, but I snooze until like 5:20.
That's still ridiculous.
Right.
I still get a lot of sleep after 5:20 a.m. Hey, I hate to interrupt, but we have a giveaway to make.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, sound.
don't, Gio, what was that?
Leave me alone. I'm trying to excite it. Make it exciting.
Confetti and so sound is on. You saw me check this thing, right?
Hit the save button.
And I hit save and it says saved. All right. I gotta move this.
What
way.
if corn dog wins the
There
corn
is
dog?
literally a corn dog spot. So who?
Is
What
there?
happens? What happens if corn dog wins?
Then we all win.
I don't have that many corn
I
dogs.
don't know how that's going to happen, but okay.
I don't know. There's no possible way it could happen. So, the rules
It's gonna
were.
happen. You just said it. Oh,
Knock on wood.
So the rules were, you must leave a comment. You must like the post and leave a comment. I think some people didn't get the leave the comment part, despite me, like, notifying and bumping and saying things. But I did add a couple of people in at the last minute. Dave, you're lucky. You make me laugh, so you got added. So here we go. Some people have corn dogs, some people do not. Whoops. Here's the list. We have Adam G on here, but it's the other Adam G, not me.
Right.
And
Yep.
here we go. One spin for all the corn dogs.
Here we go.
I can hear it.
you can hear it. It's because you hit the save
Sounds
button.
like a locust.
Dennis.
Oh
You
my
can't win. You already have a corn dog.
Hey. Now
Thing
he's
is,
pretty
right.
sure he's going to have the whole band of Kiss.
Right. He needs 2 more. Well, depending on maybe 3 more. Because
Right. Well, I mean, are we going to talk the Bruce Kulick days?
yeah, I don't know.
Congratulations, Dave, Dennis. I was about to say Dave.
Dennis, you won. Unless you want to give it up and we'll do another spin. It's up to you. No pressure or anything.
He's building a band.
He's
I'm
building
telling
a
you.
band, right?
He's got his Paul Stanley to his Gene Simmons now.
But is it Paul Stanley or is it Ace?
Well, maybe it's Peter Criss.
Who is it? You're right. Right.
I'd go with the Spaceman. I'd stick with Ace Frehley.
Like,
Look at that. Class act, Dennis.
are you really? You're gonna give it up? You're not gonna build your rest of your Kiss band? He's like, screw that. That was a lot of work.
It did. It looked good though.
Wait a
Right.
second. Hold on.
We're gonna replace Dennis with Gerg.
No. Wait. I'm gonna write something in the chat. Hang on.
Okay, please hold. We will call a Eric Bergerud, here's
Eric
a timeout
Bergerud.
for you.
You need to call a timeout here. You need to call a timeout
We're
here.
calling a
Timeout here.
timeout.
There's gonna be a timeout
There's-
called. I'm gonna call it right now.
Matt's typing. What chat is Matt typing in?
I think it's
In the
YouTube.
box.
The YouTube
Okay.
one. I have it on my phone. We're watching.
We got to get that. We got to get that audio I sent you today, Adam, for those picks.
He did want to do that, but I think we should do that anyway. So, Gio, how many corn dogs do you have left?
4.
Oh, yeah, okay. Here's what's going to happen. You are going to send Dennis one,
Yeah.
and Dennis is going to give it to Corey Adamson to give to Kenzie,
Yep.
who's a girl with cerebral palsy
Oh, that's
in
perfect.
St. Louis, who's a big fan of the team, and the team's a big fan of her. Why don't we do that?
Great
Yeah,
idea.
we were. Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if I should say that.
Yeah. So you know what that means?
You get to
Oh
spin
man,
it.
picker wheel part 2.
Trail Part 2. I hope I win. All
If
right.
Gerg wins, what happens if Gerg actually wins?
Gerga's just that's a
You
fake.
cannot win. Can we
That's just a
stop saying
placeholder.
and throwing these things into the
What about
universe?
corn dog?
It's a placeholder.
Oh gosh.
Just for that, I had another one called Not Geo. So the whole point of this is that we get to see the picker wheel more often if something wins that doesn't qualify. Here we go.
I'm not go.
So what happens?
That music is really annoying.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Fun.
Congratulations, Chris.
Chris, send me or Geo or both of us or just Geo your mailing address, and Geo will send you a corn dog.
That's right.
And then you must
right.
post pictures of it as often as possible.
As much as possible. If you want to customize it, it's all free will.
What?
Just don't put a San Diego jersey on it.
Right, right. Yeah, wait. Time out. Yeah, there needs to be stipulations here. I never even thought of what would happen if a Blast fan won it. I mean, come on.
Oh, hey, whoa.
Fan.
How many of those do you think would fit like lengthwise at CQ? Like 4?
At least 3.5, maybe 4.
Fun.
Okay, about
Funny.
4.
Funny. All right, back to the games.
Well, there were games. All right.
Yes.
Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
That was fantastic.
Stars and Ambush. So here's the game that I got all screwed up with. So
Well,
if
the
you'll
same thing-
notice the box score of Friday night game and Sunday afternoon game for the Ambush, they gave up a goal at exactly 47 seconds into the game. And I was like, oh boy, here we go again. So then it's 1-0 Stars. Then it's 2-0 Stars. And then Wall scores. So it's 2-1. Okay, they have a chance. And then it's 3-1 Stars. And then it's 4-1 Stars. And it's like, here we go. We're seeing the same thing. And then this is the part. So like, totally ignore what I said 20 minutes ago or so.
Do it again.
This is the part where, do you want me to spin the wheel again? Should we give it a
No.
No.
Do your whole spiel about the Stars again.
So the Stars just sat back and didn't do anything. For real this time, not just made up like in my head the other day or the other minute or something.
That was
But,
like 7 minutes ago, but close the other day.
The other day, it's COVID quarantine hours.
You got foggy brain.
3 hours equals a year these days, or 2 months or 20 seconds, just however it works. Yeah, so they just sat back. And when Ambush started scoring, they didn't press at all. And Dennis said, "Oh, I bet it's fatigue." And I was like, I don't know, man, because they're playing 5 games in 8 days. If they're fatigued now, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they should cash it in.
Right.
I think we got to give some credit to the Ambush because what they did, they did turn up the intensity, but not just that, they pressed them on their half and didn't let them to build up. Right. I know Stars allowed it a little bit, but the issue was when Stars wanted to turn it on, St. Louis was already on the front foot. There was no turning it off for them.
Yeah.
They would press them in, contain them in, any outlet was either a long ball and there was an ambush player. What they didn't do against the Fury was getting back. They did do it on this game.
Yeah.
They moved up and down as a team, as where against the Fury, it wasn't like that. They were hit on the counterattack so often with the Fury. But here, they realized, like, oh, crap, okay, we all got to get back and we all got to get up. And then when they were all up, they pressed so well that Stars couldn't turn it back on. They
Right.
couldn't.
The game is weird because it's all about transition and adapting. And if you can't adapt, it's like St. Louis, like, well, we're screwed. We got to do something. And they switched, and Tacoma just couldn't catch up and never did.
Yeah. When you saw Paulo score, I mean, you knew at that point it was like
They were on it.
180.
Yeah.
So I think you knew at that point what was bound to happen. And
Yeah.
we did. We saw it, and it's unfortunate how it ended with the power play.
Right.
But that foul, you can't overlook a foul
Can't
like that.
deny that.
Oh,
No, that-
absolutely. I agree. But I think at that point you don't want to go have a game winner be on a power play.
Right.
I agree.
And the refs will do whatever they can to not call a blue card in overtime.
Overtime. Yeah.
But if you, basically kill a guy, yeah.
And what I love to see is, obviously we know Max is the heart of this team, but in the absence of Max, I love to see how Walls literally took the team by their jersey and pulled them forward. And he just put it on for them in that game. If he wasn't the player of that game, I don't know what happened.
So Brad just said something, and I saw the replay somewhere. If you haven't seen the replay of Toth's saves, where he
Oh my gosh.
appears out of nowhere, and
It was unreal.
It's on the Facebook page.
Yeah. The first shot goes off the post, and then the two that come within a matter of 3 seconds of one another, one right after the other, is unreal.
Absolutely insane.
that was
Yeah.
insane.
He did. That is a great point. Chris did do his thing.
Yeah. But
I
to
mean-
your point, Adam, with the Stars and kind of, not putting the foot on the accelerator, that's sort of it's in my opinion, and I'm a sports fan. I love all sports, but it's a huge pet peeve of mine is when you have your opponent down and you back off. I just, I'm all about if you're going to blow an opponent out, do it and apologize later that you didn't let them back into the game. You hear about certain things like unwritten rules in baseball about why you don't, launch off of a pitcher when the bases are loaded. You don't swing at a 3-0 pitch. You know what? If he's going to give you meat, you go ahead and take it if you're up 7 or not. And so and again, I don't know. I wasn't on the sidelines with the Stars. I don't know the mentality of whether or not their legs got tired or whether they did back into a shell, like you said. But I'm a firm believer that if you got the foot on the throat, you keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw the Fury do it. You saw
Yeah,
the Fury do it.
Right. I am also a Bears fan. I've seen the Bears get up by some points and then fall into a prevent defense and find themselves on the losing end of a football game. So
Yeah.
if you got your opponent down, this is sports. If you want to get better, you go back to and you train to get better if you get humiliated one week. And look what happened to the St. Louis ambush. Friday night, they got ran out of the arena and they came back and they, they made themselves right.
And then the other thing is, right, if you're a defensive team, okay, sit back, fine.
Right.
But if you're an offensive team, you obviously are not the type to sit back. So why do it?
Yeah, that game plan could only work for like a few teams, like Baltimore. Baltimore would be a perfect example. Yes, Adam.
Or against Baltimore.
Shut up, Milwaukee.
But I mean, if your team is accustomed to having a defensive style, yeah, absolutely sit back. But that's not who they are. I'm going to mention it now. So the winner of the Ron Newman Cup,
Junior with Chiefs.
Junior, is going to be the team with the best fourth quarter goal differential.
I think it's going to be the team that
finish
wins
off
the more.
games in the fourth quarter.
I think it's going to be the team that wins all the games in the playoffs.
Well,
So when you say that, Do you be positive or negative differential? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if it was positive, but as of right now, I think a negative fourth quarter goal differentials I think every team has it. But.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, we'll get into playoff talk. All right. We got one more game to recap here. And that was maybe the best game of the weekend.
I think so.
In Ontario?
One of the better games of the year.
So that was Sunday night. Fury at KC. And I thought the Fury was going to do the same thing. They were up 5-1 in halfway through the second quarter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
6-3 at
KC,
half.
what's that?
6-3 at half, right?
Yes. No, 5-3.
5-3 at half.
No.
5-1 at half.
5-1 at half.
5-1 at
actually.
half,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see right here.
Right. 5-1 at half and 6-3 at the end of the third quarter.
Dude. Nestor Hernandez is a beast on that field. Like a beast.
I noticed
really
his play a
fast.
couple of years ago, and it's just like, where did this guy come from?
He's
Like-
playing at a different speed.
Holy crap.
Well, I mean, you kind of saw it last year, right? With him and Kyrell, right? And Frank, they were just something else towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And this year they picked up where they left off.
I'm a fan. Meeting Uzi and Charlie, Brian Aguilar Gonzalez, was so LeSharon. So to tell you what we're talking about, we've told this story on the show before, and I think you're probably new here. We were in KC at the All-Star game.
Can we say who?
Matt and I were in KC at the
Well,
All-Star.
Cliff and Lucie were there too. 4 out of the 5 of us were at the All-Star game.
So there was question of if Brian Aguilar even made the flight from Monterey into KC, and nobody really knew. Well, so Matt's like, I think that's Charlie Gonzalez over there. And I'm like, my brain is going, but he's wearing red and he's standing next to Uzi. But then I was like, well, but he used to play with Uzi in Monterey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was Brian Aguilar.
And you thought it was Brian Aguilar because you thought
I thought it
saw
was Brian Aguilar because he was
Flash
wearing a Met.
logo.
It looked like a Flash logo. Yeah.
So I go over there. I'm like, oh, I'll ask him because I'm a dumbass. And I was like, oh, Brian? He's like, no, Charlie Gonzalez. I'm like, oh, oops. So I got myself out of that with some slick talking by, oh, well, I just see you guys by your numbers and I don't really see, on TV. It's much different than in person. And he was like, oh, just some idiot. Doesn't have any idea who I am. So once again, I will apologize to Charlie and Brian.
It's okay. When I first saw Corey Keats, I thought he was Danny Waltman. But then Danny Waltman actually walked in. I was like, oh, wait, that's Danny Waltman.
That's exactly what you said.
I was like, wait, no.
That's what we should do. We should just talk about All-Star the rest of the show. Just for
We got to
Gio.
get the picks.
We got to get to the picks. Yeah. So anyway,
I would talk All-Star all night, but
let me say this about KC. If KC can shore up their defense,
Yes.
they have the best attack in the league right now.
I 100% agree.
And they need to be a little more disciplined on the field.
Yes.
Do you think they have the best attack?
I don't.
They
Well,
are
I think
what
they have
San
one of the
Diego
best.
should
Them
be.
in Ontario.
Ontario and somewhat Florida.
I just think
Yeah,
Florida-
because
I'm gonna say Ontario at this point.
Ontario
I think,
just takes shots like crazy, though.
Yeah. They have the
I
potential to be the
think-
best attack.
I think this game is going to be a wake-up call for Ontario that you poked the sleeping bear, and I think you're going to see Frank and Justin Stinson and Nestor Hernandez, and the list goes on and on.
And,
Yeah.
and who does Ontario play next?
wait, hold on. Before we do that,
You're
I think-
delaying this.
no. I just want to say this one thing. I think they didn't poke the bear. I think they found the kinks in the armor because
Wow.
Florida did the same thing. They didn't sit back. They took it to them. And when you stand up to them and you play their game, you see what happened. They lost both of those matchups.
I like your thinking, Gio, and I'm interested to see what's happening coming up here.
Well,
Maybe
especially
they
since
did find it.
an interesting game.
Ontario's going home. Now, granted, there's no fans, so we're all sad about that, but they get to play in their home arena. And they don't have to travel, and they don't have to sit, in hotel rooms with people knocking on the door in the middle of the night. And they all look. So Adam, the other Adam G, Frank didn't play.
He didn't.
Who else didn't play? I mean, Waltman. No, not Waltman.
What? Can you imagine
Waltman playing that game?
Well, Kevin Ellis didn't play for KC.
Right. That's right. I was thinking. I was looking at, in my mind, was going through the benches, and I got KC and Tacoma on them.
Kevin Ellis that was sitting over there. Because remember.
Sorry, Cliff. Go ahead.
Oh no! Just at one point in the broadcast, you can actually see Kevin Ellis like mouth the words, "I want to be on the field." It was pretty cool when he said that.
But can we point out how like these two teams have the future like all-star goalies, and they were outstanding.
Neto versus DeLima was a great battle.
Didn't I mention that last week?
No, it was Gio.
We had this very discussion in the car just the other day going up to futsal. We talked about how San Diego's got Pardo and Venzela on the team, and it almost seems unfair. We talked about Wolf and Waltman on the same team. It almost seems unfair. Yeah. And then, now all of a sudden you got these two younger guys that, are just kind of up and comers here. And for what it's worth are, if Ontario goes and wins this whole thing, according to Lucy, she thinks that's what's going to happen. You've got this guy who's, essentially come out of nowhere. I think he backed up
shadow of Toth. So
and so I mean,
hard.
Good for him, and good for the young prospects of the keepers in the league here, as you got some of these more veteran keepers who are.
Eric is here. And he says, Eric just showed up and he said, "Did I hear someone talking about goalkeepers?"
No, but it is interesting to see how much of a difference these young guys are making, because they come up with some big saves. Like even talking about last night with KC. Imagine if Neto didn't make those saves off the line. Imagine that.
Yeah,
how much that would have turned the game. So it's like they played a huge part. And I don't even know how many times I heard Eric say it's called goalkeeping. Like, they just, both of them were outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
So, and another thing, okay, why does the MASL site sort by first name? Some dumb things happening here. So Eric, I'm gonna, please hold. Okay.
Is this a timeout?
Neither goalkeeper was even born in 1987. So how's that for a stat for you?
Wow.
Let's go. 80s is up there.
They were barely born. I mean, Neto was born in 95.
95.
Clayson was born in 98.
I graduated from high school then.
Okay, so this kind of combines. So I want to humor me for a moment. So Eric talked about songs.
We always do.
Talked about songs back in like the 80s and 90s during like the heyday. He was talking about Wang Chung and other songs. Yeah. What was the number one hit song the year both of those guys were born?
In 95?
Who cares?
It had to be like Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun. That was right in that ballpark.
Right. In 98 would have been.
What kind of music?
Yeah.
Because if you ask me, it's probably going to be something Spanish. Because I was just coming from Mexico.
1995. That's when like the Bush's 16 Stone came out. So we're talking like, whatever. I don't know. Glycerine.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh.
Gangsta's Paradise in 95.
God.
And 98 was. There's no number one. There's a Too Close by Next.
Oh, I
haven't even heard of that. Oh, All Saints.
So you wouldn't have heard either of those songs at a
yeah.
Where were you going with this, Matt?
Oh, I don't know. I was just curious. because Eric was talking about like songs back in the 90s, and these guys were born in the 90s, so I was just kind of curious.
There's a lot of good. Okay. Now for the
Anyway.
picks.
So what are we here for?
I don't know.
Hey,
Right.
Don't know.
repping my goalkeeper tonight. And I'm wearing pink to go with St. Louis. There you go.
We got to do some picks. So
Macarena.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
8.
7 games
Oh, 7.
between Wednesday and Sunday.
That's
Do
a
you
lot.
need me to write them down?
Do you want to write them down?
Yeah, I can write them down.
Is that a Shamrock Shake?
It is.
Bring me
It
one.
makes me sneeze. That's all I got.
Random fact of the day.
Random fact of the day.
There you
I
go.
had a sneezing fit right before we went on live with you guys.
I hate those.
Yeah,
I usually sneeze like 40 times in a row until my head falls off.
that's kind of where I was.
You go,
Yeah.
"Ah,
How do you reattach it?
Adam, are you doing the wheel and yourself?
No,
All right,
I'm doing the
you're-
wheel.
Okay,
I've decided that I have no idea how to pick these games anymore, so I'm doing the wheel for the whole thing.
that's how
Hey,
I was.
Gio,
The
make
last
sure you
time?
leave a spot for Hannah.
The last
Shameless
time we were on
plug,
the
Hannah.
show.
Shameless plug. Hannah's picks will be this Friday.
Perfect. We'll be watching.
Okay, so Wednesday.
Oh wait. Oh, that's right. There is a Wednesday game. Okay.
There's
so
a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
I will call Hannah
Wednesday's game.
tomorrow, and I'll get her picks for Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh yeah.
I wish Wednesday's game was this weekend because I want to.
We're going to watch it.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Watch it. I'm going to watch all 7 games. My point is, I wish tomorrow night or Wednesday night's game was on like the weekend because this would be one of the ones where I'd pull up a 6-pack and get after it, but not Wednesday night.
Nope.
Fury Tropics.
Ontario and Florida.
Oh, Florida, the Florida Tropics.
Okay, one at a time.
All right, so Adam's got the Fury. Who's?
I have the Fury.
You know what? I like the Fury. I'm saying Tropics though.
Let's see who
I see. Matt?
I don't know. I think I'll go Florida.
Ooh.
Was that a good Brian Ackley impression?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
I'm gonna take Florida.
exciting.
So I'm actually gonna go Fury.
I almost can't believe
So we're
it.
split. We're
Matt?
split.
Well, there's still picker wheel.
Yeah,
Picker wheel, pick Fury. I'm not picking. It's picker wheel all the way.
All the way.
Yes.
Okay, so then we have the next game.
Next game, the picker wheel
Orange
chose
Tropics.
corn dog.
Oh my
Perfect.
gosh. It has to be a choice. It has to be a game. It has to be a team.
It is a team.
It is a team.
Team
It's a way of
corn
life.
Way of life.
Okay, so I'll just write corn dog.
It's an automatic win.
Yeah.
As long
That's
as
an automatic loss.
Gio
What?
didn't even.
7-0 this week.
Gio just kind of gave up. All right, I'll just write corn dog. Whatever. I'm not arguing with you on this one. That's not a hill Gio's ready to die on right now. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna write corn dog.
I mean, okay. Hang on.
It's too late. It's already there.
Oh, it's a tough one.
I'm
All
going
three.
light blue. Damn.
Corn dog win. Okay, no, I actually did put the real teams on there. I didn't just pick the corn dog. I'll pick Florida. Fine, put me down for picks. I picked Fury for the first game, and I picked Florida for the second game.
I'll pick Florida second game.
But the picker wheel picks corn dog. You're not taking that away from me.
Wait, what's the
I
second?
won't.
Stars Tropics.
Stars Tropics. Oh yeah, I'll take Florida.
I'm taking Florida on this one again too.
I'll take Florida once again.
So everyone picked Tropics
Yes.
except me.
Sorry, Nick.
Oh,
Except for you.
except for you.
Oh wow. Picker wheel's dumb.
You know,
Actually, I'm
corn-
going Stars. The only reason two specific reasons I'm going Stars. One, it's going to be a tough game against Fury. God knows what condition they're going to be in.
True.
Right.
I thought about that too.
And two, it's Florida's second day away from home
True.
Also, Florida's
Yes,
last game.
and their last game.
It's their last game before the playoffs, and there's a very, very good chance that they're going to have to win that game to get their coveted first place back. Because
Right.
if they lose to Ontario the night
Ontario.
before,
Question.
answer.
Is Drew playing? Is he cleared yet?
Nobody knows.
So
Get him on the phone. What the heck?
are you asking according to real life or the injury report?
Well, the injury report we know doesn't stay accurate. So
So the
that's
injury
a lot of
report is
luck.
a bunch of nonsense, and they shouldn't even do it
I agree.
because
If you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not, if you're gonna do it like once a week, or no, not even once every other week or every 3 weeks, then don't do it.
they do it
Gotta be
every week,
consistent.
but they only put down what the teams tell them, and the teams play strategy.
Yeah.
So Max was out, Schmerman was out for that Friday night game. The only people on St. Louis's injury list was Daduka and Pepe, who we knew were out.
Right.
Everyone else was in, and then none of the other teams had anything. KC had a bunch, but none of the other teams had anything.
You don't have to report healthy scratches either, so they can say
Right.
they're healthy.
So I think the you either need to, and sorry if I'm taking into your what the commissioner needs to do segment, Gio. You either need to tell the teams they have to report accurately and then fine them if they don't, or just do away with the injury report. I'd be fine with either way. And then just you find out the half an hour before the game, and then picker wheel can pick all the games from now until the end of history.
Yep.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Yep, Dave said he's using the picker wheel for his lottery for his fantasy football league. So we started this, Dave, I started using a site like this. There's a site called random.org many, many, many years ago when I was on a poker list. And Dave will appreciate this because he's a poker player. And they were doing a March Madness thing. And I said, well, I don't know anything about any basketball teams ever. So I'll be in the pool, but only if somebody picks all my picks by random. And of course I didn't win because there's no happy ending to this type of story. But what that led to was a decade-long series of betting on the flip of a card by using random.org to pick cards.
Ooh.
And it turned into like a semi-cult religion. So anyway, what are we talking about?
Picks.
Are we done with Stars
Yes.
Tropics?
We
Yeah.
have ambush sidekicks.
Ambush sidekicks. Adam will pick ambush. The picker wheel is a dumbass and picks sidekicks.
Stupid picker wheel.
This is going to be an interesting pick for Gio because these are the two teams he picks the most.
Right. What do you do?
Yeah.
Is that even a question?
Do you pick?
Come on now.
Come on.
He's going to pick sidekicks, of course.
Of course. I already wrote it down.
Are you picking? So hang on a second. Time
I
out
have
for Eric.
ambush.
Are you
I have
picking?
ambush.
Are you picking sidekicks to win the whole thing, Gio?
Hold on.
That's the exact answer.
Hold on. This is a two-part. I'm confused. Because a part
to
of
win
me
the whole
wants to
championship.
say- a part of me wants to say yes, but a part of me really has.
Knows you're lying to yourself.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the intelligent part of you, or the part that picks Dallas against the ambush for their last home game of the year?
Yeah, that part of me wants
Yeah.
to keep doing. And then my analytical game-breaking coach side of me is picking KC or Fury to win it all.
I'm telling you, Dave. He said sidekicks should poach everyone that's left and start their magical run. I'm telling you, fire Coach Bozas, hire Giuliano Oliviero, and take
Build your team.
an all-star team between the Wave, Blast, and Utica, and just
I love it.
do it.
It's
That's
not too late. There's still time.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
not
So
sleepwalking my picks, Dave. It's just Dallas. That's the only one I just pull the trigger on. I'm sorry.
all right, are we done with this one? Did we get everyone's picks?
So everyone except the picker wheel and myself went ambush.
Picker wheel picked Dallas.
I didn't pick yet.
Who are you gonna pick?
I was actually going to pick Dallas because it's their last game at home, and I think they can pull off the upset. So I'll take Dallas.
It's the last game in St. Louis.
Oh, it's in St. Louis. Oh,
Dallas's last game is.
It's too late. You can't change it. If you change it, they're gonna lose, Matt.
no,
Every time someone changes their pick, the team loses.
no, I'm taking St. Louis. I'm willing to risk that. I did it last week too.
And KC lost because of
I
you.
know.
This is like the best segment of this show we've ever had. Thank you guys for joining.
Of course.
We love this.
So Dallas, I'm sorry, Matt just cost you that loss.
All right. Are we done with that game?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Fury
So
Stars.
second game of Friday night, Fury Stars. Yeah.
This intrigued me.
I pick
Hi,
Fury.
I'm taking the Fury.
Me too.
Okay, Fury's all the way.
I think that's the first one we've all come to.
Consensus.
Wait.
No, the picker wheel will probably
Picker wheel
throw
picks.
a wrench.
Pick a real pick corn dog.
Okay, another loss.
Oh, LaSharon is picking Stars over her Fury.
Oh,
That's the thing. I could see that happening too.
how
Like,
could you do that?
You know what?
like
I'm
I want
gonna
to see Tacoma. I'm still picking Tacoma winning the whole thing. So that would be great for them to beat Ontario.
Look
But
at Lucy's reaction to that.
on Sunday night. I'm gonna reflect on my 3-4 weekend because when I feel I have a good finger on the pulse of the league, I realize I literally know nothing about picking games. This is why I refuse to gamble any sort of sports, even when I'm in Vegas. I can't do it.
we have no idea how to pick games either. So
I've picked
I'm at least 500.
Yeah, but you know
Cool.
what? I prided myself on studying the game this year and really trying to get a feel for the teams. And yet it's every night there's something. I mean, the way granted there's only 7 out there, but the competitive nature of the teams and some of the soccer I've seen this year has just kind of blown my mind and made it realize just how difficult it is for me to pick a winner.
how many 1-goal games have there been this season? I
There's
would
been
say
so
about
many.
50%, maybe.
Lots of overtime games. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been great.
so I mean, it's tough to pick games, and I think the only person that knows how to pick is Hannah. And
Right.
Obviously.
I think
picker wheel.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I think this, yes, there's a lot of talent in the league, but if we think about it, it's a lot of talent concentrated in 7 teams. So imagine if those other teams were back, half these players wouldn't be on these teams. So how different would the league be?
How many 4+ goal comebacks have there been this season?
Exactly.
7, 8? I
there
mean,
were like 3 this weekend.
right, yeah. So slight brag here, and this is probably not a good thing to say as a Packer fan, but I've made 3 football bets in my life of legitimate amounts of money, other than like $1 here, $1 there, or whatever. There was a site, I can't even remember it, Mansion Poker, back in like 2005 or whatever, had this big opening, and one of their things was you bet. It was on like the Steelers, who had just won the Super Bowl, on their opening game. If you pick them, $1,100 to win 1,000, and if you lose, they reimburse you the amount of money that you lost. But they reimburse you on the site, so you have to jump through hoops. So what they're hoping is that you lose, or you win, and then you spend all the money on their site.
Then you have to spend the money on the site.
So I won that. I took my money off the site, never played a single hand of poker on that site ever. And then when Brett Favre cried on national TV for the 15th time and left the Packers to go play for Minnesota, I bet against the Packers for both of those games, and I won like $600 each game. So those are the only NFL games I've ever bet on. You're not a Bears fan. You can't be a Bears fan. Cliff's a Bears fan.
I'm pretty sure I counted 32 or 33 games, and there were 13 out of those games that were 1 goal.
That's not bad. 1/3 of all the games. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Eric just said elephants. Oh, that was the greatest. Thanks for saying that, Eric, last night. That was awesome. All right. Are we on our next game yet?
Yep. Soccer's Fury.
Fury Soccer's this last year would have potential to be a super dynamite game, and this year
Yeah.
has a potential to be a super dynamite blowout.
Can anyone in this chat right now figure out the Sockers? Because if you can, tell me.
The one thing that I will agree with Craig Elston on the Sockers is they have a great defense.
Yeah.
And I said this a while ago, and I was going to mention this in one of the other games where Tacoma lost. I said it when Blast moved to their little tiny little fun size arena, that you can't beat the Blast if you score less than 5 goals. Like if you don't score 5 goals, don't expect to beat the Blast. And I think we can extend that to like almost every game.
Yeah.
Like every team, like if you can't score 5 goals in indoor soccer, don't expect to win. You have to have like a super stellar defense and like the shooting of
Us.
well, or I won't say it because I won.
You guys are going to be surprised with my picks then.
I have Sockers for this game.
Same here.
Wow.
I have the Fury again. Picker Wheel picks Corn Dog for the win.
Of course.
Here's my reason for picking the Sockers over the Fury. So the Fury is playing their 3rd game in pretty much 72 hours. They have a gap day, and I think the Sockers will just be able to pull ahead. I don't know. I think maybe they can get some. I don't know. I think if they get like that early punch or even a late punch and they can let the Fury. I think the Fury is going to be tired. Like no matter how where you're playing, or I know they kind of have advantage, but I think they're going to be tired.
I like your reasoning, and I'm gonna go with you on this one. I'm gonna say San Diego. I think Ontario's going to kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit because they do have. I mean, is this the last week before playoffs, or is there like
there's one
game next week?
weekend.
Yeah.
We'll
is this Ontario's last game?
Yes.
Fury's last game.
I don't see. I think San Diego has more to play for than Ontario.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Diego in that one.
Yeah.
Also, Adam just said it. San Diego has one of the better defense, and it's going to be interesting to see how they match up against, the Furies. And on top of that, will Frank be healthy? Right?
Well,
Frank has been battling an injury, so they rested him so he could play the first game, right? Obviously, they're gonna play him for Florida. There's no ifs about that. But will he be okay for the following game or the game after that?
Or the game after that in the next 72 hours, yeah.
Right.
You bring up a good point. My thing is, like I said, figuring the Sockers out, they're scoring like 3.2 goals a game. And you've got Ontario who, you get Nestor Hernandez out on a 1v1 3 times a game. I mean, there's 3 goals right there,
and Justin Simpson too is had.
I mean, that's the thing. He's on fire too. So I can't solve the soccer puzzle right now just because of the lack of offense.
If Fazio is smart and plays his cards right, he could win this game. But again, Fury has really good and fast forwards, but San Diego has a quick back line.
And they've got a tough defense too. You're right.
So
the other problem is the Sockers are 2-23-1 in games where the picker wheel picks Corn Dog.
That's a crazy stat right there. I mean,
after this game,
I thought you had a legitimate stat coming our way.
No, that's legitimate to me. I buy it.
Yeah,
that's Corn Dog legitimate. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Who did you pick?
What?
Who did Cliff pick?
I'm going with Ontario. I don't see the Sockers. I mean, I get the defense. I just don't any sort of offense at 3.2 goals a game. I see Ontario scoring more than that, and
I have 2 names.
Have an explosion.
Vanzella and Brandon Escote.
Yep, I agree. I think that's going to be their winner.
They have all the pieces there.
I'd love to see Gordy pull through a little bit. Like he's there, but he's not like
quiet.
He needs to get off.
I like Gordy Gerson. Okay,
that's what he needs to do.
He's too
I'm
fast.
a Gordy Gerson
Chiles.
fan. Fun fact: I met Gordy Gerson for the first time like a year
on
ago, 2 days
Saturday.
ago, I think. Yeah.
Was that when
I
he was?
like Gordy.
Was that when he was here for Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
there for
He drove Huffman here to the game. We found out he was like, because we were talking to Derek after the game. He's like, "Oh, Gordy's my ride. I gotta find him somewhere." I was like, it was funny.
He
It was so hilarious.
So you know all the people who sit on our side of the arena.
Yeah.
He made a comment to somebody because he was warming up with Orlando.
Yeah.
There's
And
a rumor going around.
He made the comment. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing today," and he ran off. And they within like 5 minutes, I got like 15 messages from people like, "Did you hear Gordy's playing today? Gordy's playing." So I texted Jeff Houston. I'm like, "Is there any way Gordy can play in this game?" And he's like, "No, why?" I'm like, "That's what I thought. Just I'll explain later."
Yeah, that rumor spread around an arena so fast.
So funny. He's so just joking, like he's like a jokester and just, oh my god, he's full of it all the time.
We never got him on the show, but we got him on one of the Zoom calls that we had.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He was really cool about that. We just haven't connected for getting him on the show.
I want to see another Huffman thing. Every time, like for our like in the bottle thing too. We've been having special guests on there too, and I'm always like, I need Huffman on here. Mr.
He was on there.
He was there once. You weren't there.
That was the first.
I missed them all the
guest,
time.
I believe.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Yeah, he'll
Derek's
be back.
Favorite. Love the way he speaks his mind.
San Diego versus Stars.
Stars.
I'm going opposite of you, Luce. I'm taking San Diego here. I think at some point they got to figure themselves out. I don't see it happening against Ontario, but against Tacoma, yes.
Both of us picked the Sockers.
I'm taking Tacoma. I think it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Which team's going to want it more, and I think Tacoma's going to want this one more.
I agree.
So yeah, give me Tacoma.
We even have to discuss the next one besides Geo.
So I picked San Diego for the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
So just throwing that out there.
So next game. So we are all on comments except for the picker wheel pick corn dog.
And Geo.
Oh, and Geo.
Well,
Sorry,
wait,
Eric.
Oh, so it's Comets. So it's Comets sidekicks. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. We have a foul on the play. Hang on, Sockers. Hang on. I typed in the wrong thing, and there were two Sockers on the wheel instead of a soccer and a corn dog. Okay, so corn dog wins for Sockers versus Stars as well.
What?
Gio has no reaction now. He's just like,
Just keeps writing.
But my pick is still the same.
Dude, corn dog has been picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
That's the
5 out of
only way to
7
win.
times.
What did I say when I started this picker wheel? It was because on Monday afternoon, everything was fine. And by Friday, like 13 players, actually 20 players were out and 3 teams were out of the league. And the commissioner is getting let go. That would happen in 5 days. So I'm like, you know what? The picker wheel is the only way to win in this game. It's like war games for soccer picks. You probably don't get that reference because you were born after 1987.
would you like to play a game?
I love board games.
Yeah, you don't get the reference to me.
Tic-tac-toe.
Would you like to play a nice game of chess?
I love chess.
So funny story about that movie. So the final scene where all the bombs are going to like different sites. One of the sites is Loring Air Force Base, which is up in northern Maine, where my dad was stationed. So if you watch the movie, there's like something heading towards Loring, and it says Loring Air Force Base.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, I freaking. Oh.
Are we done with those games?
I picked the game for the 20th as well.
That's what I said we should do because there's only one game.
Might as well do that.
Yeah, might as well.
We
Yeah.
have Ambush and Sockers, I think.
No,
sidekicks and Sockers.
Sidekicks and Sockers.
I picked the Sockers.
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 Picker wheel picks the sidekicks.
picker wheel. My goodness.
You know, this game is in Dallas, right?
It is the last game of the season. It is the last game in Dallas.
I will take Dallas.
Wow.
Old news, Cotton.
Drew's little fist.
I kind of went back to the last time. It's their last game in Dallas, so yeah, I think.
Yeah, sidekicks. Yeah, I'm telling you, you guys are sleeping on the sidekicks. They're a really good team. It's that they just need a new coach.
I don't doubt they're a good team. I like the Sidekicks. I think they just aren't like as developed as the other
like this
team.
You're 1-7. If this was a 24 game season, easily could get themselves back to something that wouldn't even resemble a 1-7 team at this point. So it's just you have such a small capsule to get it done, and it hasn't gone their way. So it obviously there's a glaring differential between them and the rest of the league, it seems.
But
and I think at this point, to be honest, I think San Diego and Dallas have really, I won't say nothing to play for, but I think those are the two teams that the second and third seeds are going to pick. So, and everyone's made the playoffs, so it's going to be interesting who San Diego at least fields for that game.
Hang on. So Matt, how did you do in your picks last week?
I have no idea. I think 2-2 maybe. It would have been 3-1 if it wasn't for KC Tacoma. Yeah.
Dude, Matt straight up sucks.
You're right. I mean, it was bad.
That was sent to me anonymously.
Oh my God, Lily would absolutely love you for that. That's exactly
like our favorite.
I sent that to Adam today.
Okay, now it's no longer anonymous.
All right, that's it.
Oh boy.
No, so like I was gonna say, like Dallas has really technical players, and they've had so many close games, one goal games, where they could be in a completely different seat than they are right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they turn it up or if they do something miracle in the playoffs. A guy can hope.
So Scotty just says, what if San Diego's playing the sleeping dog role? They start playing in the playoffs. And I would say, well, that would be one of the dumbest things a team could do. But it's 2021 and it's COVID era and it's 7 teams in a 10-game season. And sure, I mean, let's say
we also have Angela. I mean, look how many times the Blast turned it up in the playoffs.
Stop bringing that up. Jeez.
I don't think a team would do that on purpose. I would hope.
No, I don't think so either. You need some sort of momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? If someone gets hot at the end though, and they ride a hot hand, anything can happen. I mean,
and that's why I think this weekend is huge, bigger than any other weekend, because a lot of these teams don't have a lot of momentum right now. I mean, we saw it. Ontario lost. We saw Tacoma lose. We saw Kansas City lose. We saw St. Louis lose. The only Florida hasn't really been doing Florida things. So I think this weekend's huge.
Right.
Just for that purpose.
Yeah. Oh, and to answer Eric's question, which was a few comments back, if let me go back. He said a question for the group. Have you seen roster deadlines? I have not. Has anyone?
I've not seen anything about that.
Roster deadlines in a season where they just announced the playoffs today with 2 weeks left in the season. Yeah,
I'm assuming the deadlines are going to be 2 days before the deadline.
Yeah. You're going to have to set your roster at some point.
And then the question's going to be, St. Louis needs to have another goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But they have to have 2 roster goalkeepers. So who do you pick up?
Matt,
do you go to M2 and pick up the goalkeeper for Wichita or
Willie B?
Willie B's actually signed for Muskegon.
That's true.
And their season and
Andrew Coughlin.
Great segue.
But these guys
hold
haven't.
on.
Okay.
Great segue, Adam. M2 season kicks off in the end of March, towards the later half of March, the regular season after the Great Lakes, and schedule coming out soon. And then we'll see everything, which
Do you have a playoff format?
we do have a playoff format. It's
that's-
all going to be announced at once.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
You announced the playoff format before the season starts? What kind of craziness? You just killed Matt.
That was like, yeah, we're just making up rules as you go. It's like playing street basketball at Rick Hanley's house when I was a kid.
Oh,
Damn
man.
it, Rick.
Hey guys, we're gonna cut out of here because I have school in the morning. We have ACT tests for the juniors. Lucy's actually got two friends over here that have been patiently waiting for her
One of
because
them
she
is-
does not have school tomorrow, so
Yeah.
she's got the lucky go of it.
One of them's my friend Sailor, who got a shout out the other night on
Yeah.
the Kansas
Oh,
City
yeah, I
game.
heard that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All
we've
right.
been the poor kid. We've dragged her into a couple of games on Friday nights. We've made her watch with us. So
She'll be a fan
there-
before long. Give her a jersey. she'll be
that's our
fine.
goal.
Sure.
That's our goal, is to keep making more
You'll
people
see
fans.
her. You'll see
Nice.
her.
That's
But
right.
thank you guys again. We love it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys
Really
for
Yeah,
joining.
anytime, guys.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
it.
All right. See ya.
All right,
See you
see you guys.
later.
See ya. Like this
I
guy.
just got that. I just got that. All right. We're not going anywhere. They're just going somewhere.
Yeah.
We have a big giant elephant in the room. Speaking of elephant, Eric, there's an elephant in the room we need to talk about.
The announcement?
That is the playoff announcement.
Oh,
So-
look, a segue. You see the segues?
What segue?
From the M2 playoffs to the M1.
Oh yeah. So you mean the lower tier on the pyramid getting things right as opposed to the upper tier, just kind of shooting from the hip and doing whatever. So
It's a fun fact that you say that. I won't say who, but someone said this comment to me that no one that works for the M2, just, talking outside. We were talking and they were like, I like the leadership that the M2 has. I feel like the M2 should help the M1 and they should just bring on a pony or a what do they call it? Pretty much a celebrity commissioner, just to bring attention to the league and let the M2 and the leadership of the M1 work together to run it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of playoffs, so this hit my desk at 3:51 p.m. Central Time today. So everybody soak in this headline. Can you guys read it okay?
Mm-hmm.
MASL announces playoff format for first place Tropics, first Evet appearance in postseason.
That is exactly what I would have done with my.
This
the
was
Tropics are
posted.
not in first place.
This was posted before the MASL even posted it. So these fuckers ran off as fast as they could to get the first post in and couldn't even spell words in their headline correctly. And then left it up there. It was up there. They finally fixed it. It was up there as of like an hour ago. It was still wrong. So congratulations, Florida. First, right? You're the 20-year-old kid sleeping in his mom's basement, playing video games all day. Who you go first? Although you spell it wrong, it's Frist, Evet appearance.
God.
So I'm gonna close.
No,
this.
so I will say I think that's not necessarily to do with nothing against Brian. I know he's the one who wrote that. Nothing to do against Brian, but that's why Florida needs to have someone to double check all the press being released.
It's and I'm sorry if I'm swearing here more than I normally do. It's fucking perfect for this team. This team is the shithole of the league right now as far as how they treat fans and what product they put out to the. How many weeks in a row do we have to put up with their shitty broadcast? Their turf looks like, I don't have a good word for it because none of the words I can come up with are strong
Dog water.
enough. What?
No, but
It looks like a 50-year-old indoor football turf that they painted green and turns the ball green every time a ball goes over. Oh, wait, that's what it is. It just irritates the shit out of me because it just tells me the team doesn't care. What? What are you counting?
Didn't you want me to count?
No, that's fine.
Oh.
You lose count after a while, but
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the league should have made the announcement first. First of all, I think all announcements the league should make first.
Agreed.
And then any other team can do whatever. So how dumb would it be if Florida lost every single game from here on out?
Well, they only have 2.
Okay, so let's say they lose both of those, and Ontario wins their games or whatever. Let's just say Ontario finishes first. How dumb do you make yourself? Oh, first place Tropics, but you're not.
I'll tell you what.
They're not.
You don't look as dumb as when you write Evet Apirnas.
Exactly, and it's a perfect. You said it perfectly. I mean, it's everything else. I mean, it's great that they're treating the players great. That's awesome. But the way they're treating the fans and just kind of like it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It is that is why. And Gio, we'll give you a chance to actually talk tonight, by the way. That is why when I said what I would do as commissioner, the first thing is just dump Florida from the league. Like you can't even just say, okay, well, get a new owner, buy a new turf. No, you're done for a year. Figure your shit out if you want to come back and come back in a year. Like hire a spell checker for one. It's so irritating. But there's a very, very good chance that there won't be any more games in Florida this year. I don't know how the home and we'll let's get into the announcement for the other problem with this announcement is nobody like proofread it. It's written horribly. It doesn't say what it really needs to say. So highlights of this thing, and I'll paste this link into the chat here if you want to read it for yourself. So all 7 teams are in the playoffs, but it never states that. It kind of hides the fact. So you have 7 teams. Obviously, you can't have a decent first round. Everyone can't play. So the first round seed gets a first round, or the first place seed gets a first round bye. Now, right now, Florida is
season champion, by the way.
Right, the regular season champion. Florida is in first with a .727 win percentage and 2 games left. Ontario is in second with a .714 win percentage and 3 games left. There are many, many, many things that can happen here. And Ontario is only playing 10 games total while Florida's playing 13. So, I mean, if Florida loses both their games and Ontario wins one, I think the math says Ontario gets it.
Something like that. I'm sure there's so many different scenarios.
I could have figured out the math, but that's too hard. So anyway,
yeah, I want to.
So then we get into the like Rick. What is he said? Rick Hanley, was that his name? His pickup basketball game was what Cliff said, where he makes the rules up as they go along. So then the number 2 seed can select their first round opponent. And then of the 4 teams left, that's 3 teams out or 3 teams in.
Yeah.
And then with the 4 teams left, the number 3 seed then picks their opponent and the 2 remaining teams play each other.
Right.
So the first round will consist of a home and a home series based on arena date and availability for teams. And then of course, if it's even, then it's a mini game at the second game. And then the 3 first round winners will join the regular season champion in KC, where the semifinal round will be held. Absolutely. I still think KC should host all the playoff games. I understand why they're not. I fully get that. That's a quarterfinal round, which is the first round. Semifinal round, which is the second round. There's a game on April 1st, which only the MASL is going to have a playoff game on April Fool's Day. And the 2 remaining teams play the same.
They play the same day.
Oh, the number 1 seed will again pick their opponent and play on Thursday, April 1st, with the 2 remaining teams playing the same day.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is worded just like it's like the literary student that's trying too hard. Both series will play game 2 on Saturday, April 3rd, with a mini game if it's needed to break a series tie. Awesome. And then they're still calling it the Ron Newman Cup Finals, which is just a travesty. You got 7 teams.
You didn't even mention the final. Wait, did you say that the finals?
That's
That's what.
If there are 2 West Coast teams, so any combination of Tacoma, San Diego, Ontario, that game will be held at Toyota Arena in Ontario. But if there's at least one Midwest or East Coast team, the final will be held at Family Arena in St. Louis.
By the way, Eric and Nick, I will buy you tickets to go call this game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you can go to St. Louis and call that game instead of.
I will buy you your plane tickets or whatever you need to get over there.
And when you get there, you tell the sound guy, you turn my mic up every quarter, I'm going to smack you upside the head with a corn dog.
Borrow mine right there.
Oh, I don't know where mine is. I have a stick of dynamite behind me. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yep, on the music stand.
Yeah.
Can I show you that?
You know, Adam's like a squirrel.
He gets really.
It's packaging for a mic, inline mic preamp, and it says dynamite on it. So I need to find a place for this to always be in. Well, that's good. That's a good one. All right. So what are we talking about? Squirrel. So yes, yeah. So every round has some kind of weird made up like schoolyard bullshit going on to it. Do you have a Venn diagram of what the playoffs are?
Well, I've been requested by Dave Kovalevsky to kind of go over the playoffs for everyone. So
hang on, I can do it real quick. Hey, let me before you do it.
Yeah.
So there's Zoom has a whiteboard. So here's the playoff scenario. Are you following me so far?
Yep.
Okay, so hang on. We gotta change.
So that's the first round.
Yep, second round. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, that's all I got.
That was good. Probably a lot better than mine.
Corn dog.
So
moment.
I've been asked to do this in the style of John Madden. So here we go.
Is that one of those pizzas? The Bigfoot pizza from the 80s?
It's kind of like a pizza here, and you got Florida down here, and then this is Texas right here, and this is kind of Dallas right here. So I don't know if there's any games going to be held over here, Dallas. So first round might be played here, might be played somewhere over here. This is California over here, and this is kind of Ontario and California right here.
Did you just make California all of East Coast?
I don't know. Just follow me here. So the first round, some teams might play here, and then some teams might play over here, over in the sun. Sun, you got a little sunshine right here. And then you got home and home, so some teams might fly there, and then some teams might go there. I don't know. And all these other teams are going to come back up here. They're going to have a semifinals somewhere along here in this nice little area. And then we're going to be up here. Gio's going to be down here watching. And I'm going to be right here, and Adam's going to be up here, and we're watching. And then the finals might be played here, might be played here. Who knows? I really have no idea. So we're just going to put a little frowny face right here in Florida. Well, it's so sad that our turf sucks and everything. And there you go.
Oh, I needed that.
Oh my God. Oh
wow. That was
that was beautiful.
And boom. I forgot I didn't even say boom.
That was beautiful.
But
for those who didn't follow that, supposedly the quarterfinals, home and home.
I'm crying over here.
Semifinals, KC, and finals, if it's 2 West Coast teams, Ontario, and if any other team outside the West Coast is in, it's going to be in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Matt just said.
Can we
Thank you for translating everything that I just said.
Can we bring up the fact that the All-Star game was played in KC, and granted it was because Lane Smith owns both teams and they were talking about what to do, and he owns that team, so it makes sense to play there. But and we've done this before, if you rank the broadcast, now we have yet to see Ontario this year with Philly and Panda, and I think that's going to be something special. But if you rank the 4 teams right now, KC is so far and above. Although, hang on, let me get my dates right here before I say something that on Sunday's game, the guys in St. Louis finally got their camera in focus. You still didn't follow any of the action, and point to the ball behind you, Gio. So you guys see the yellow ball? You point the camera at it, put in the center of the screen, and follow it. I don't understand. Yes, thank you. You can stop pointing now.
Okay.
Which reminds me, there's a video out there. Search this on and one of these nights I'll bring this up. There was a AI for the camera. So a lot of these outdoor cameras are all automated. It's artificial intelligence that runs the camera, and it sticks on the ball and it follows the ball around. Well, this one, you know what? Have I played this for you guys?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's an excellent question. I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to say no.
Stop it.
I'm going to say if it has anything to do with water, yes.
No. Okay, here we go. Sharing the screen here. This is one of the best things I've ever seen. You guys see it?
Yeah.
Let me turn this.
My club uses this. But not this
What
one.
does the camera keep focusing on instead of the ball?
The ref.
The ref's bald head.
Oh my God, yes.
He thinks it's the ball.
He keeps going back and forth between the ball.
So my club uses something similar to this, where a few of our players use trackers that it follows.
All right, so anyway.
It's hilarious.
I needed that too. So, just point the camera at the damn ball and follow it, and focus. Like they finally got it. They finally got things focused on Sunday. It was actually a really good broadcast, with the exception of a couple things. Some suggestions for St. Louis's broadcast. Now that we're on this tangent, Matthew Bird needs to learn that he doesn't have to fill every single second with him talking about something. Why is his mic so loud? Why is his mic keep getting turned up every quarter?
Is that so necessarily his fault or the sound engineer?
No, I'm not saying it's his fault, but that's what we hear.
Right.
So, okay. So are we done with the playoffs thing?
I think so.
Yeah, it's
Do we want to pick who's going to be in the playoffs?
everyone.
I think we should do that next week when there's only one game left, and when we may have a special guest on the show.
Why did he just ask that question? We just
I don't
went over who was going to be in the playoffs, and he asked. There's my prediction.
My
I'm going
prediction
out on a limb
is
here.
St. Louis, Kansas City, Dallas, Florida, San Diego, Ontario, and Tacoma. I think that's what I pick.
Okay, so in the year of 2020/2021, anything is possible.
Great.
I think there's going to be an 8th team of cyborgs that's going to play in the tournament.
Oh my God, that's great. Oh, Matt's reaction just made my night.
Yeah, your reaction just made our night.
That question made my night.
Hey, what's the difference between a
Oh,
piano?
no,
glue,
no,
and a
no. We're
tuna?
not ending the show. We're not ending the show.
No, we're not. No, I just asked you a question. What's the difference between a piano, glue, and a tuna?
Piano, glue, and tuna.
Yes.
So you can tune a piano. Something about you
You
can't
can
tune
tune a
fish.
piano, but you can't piano tuna.
Why do I bother with this? Jesus, I'm trying
What
to.
does that have to do with glue?
I knew
Nothing.
you get stuck on that. Oh boy. Sometimes.
Done.
Sometimes.
Done. I am done. I can't. I cannot.
Oh. So
It's the little things, man. It's the little
it
things.
really is. It really is. I think this leads perfectly. I don't know how this does, but I think this leads perfectly into the "If I were commissioner, what would I do?" segment, sponsored by nobody.
Do we want to do it tonight? It might run a little long.
So that's fine. Let me make an announcement here. Next week, joining us somewhere around an hour into the show is the voice partner of Nick Vassos in Kansas City for the broadcast. Eric Bergrud will be joining us on the show. We'll be talking about all things playoffs. We were going to have him on as soon as the playoffs were announced, but I think next week there's only one game left after this weekend. So we can have a lot more of how the teams are looking. Has San Diego learned how to score yet? Has Dallas learned how to win yet?
Who's made the playoffs?
Who's made the playoffs? And we can have a better discussion about how we think the playoffs are going to go.
Oh my God.
In fact, we will have unless something drastically goes wrong, we should have our first seed announced after this weekend. But unless Ontario and Tacoma lose all games and San Diego wins all the games, which I don't even think is possible because they play each other a bunch.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So Gio,
that made my night.
let me just make sure if I wrote a lot of notes this week.
It's okay. So I kind of did this thing where elephants, where I just either did long term and short term. I nothing in between, just long term, short term. I'm gonna start with the short term, right? Broadcast standards off the bat. Next season, this season's pretty much over. Going into next season, broadcast standards, focusing on turf. I called them issues, but really just requirements for all teams. Whether you guys package into a sponsorship deal with a turf company or whatnot, but that would be it. A decreed annual All-Star week.
Mhm.
Decreed. So instead of just a week where you do assuming everything goes back to normal, given a few years or whatnot, having the kids do their youth tournaments that they normally do, maybe doing like all-star games or stuff like that.
When would you do it as far as comparison to the season?
When?
Yeah.
The end.
So after the championship game?
After the championship. Yeah. I think that'll be a great time to do it. Heck, if you could do it, like let's say Friday is the championship game, the week after that. Just to have, players have a week off or whatnot and come. They're already there, so why not? Wherever the championship game is, host it there. That's what I would say.
Unless it's in Florida.
Unless it's in Florida. The only exception.
Yeah.
So then I went into the more, I guess, me side of things, you would say, which are the social media standards and strategies. We don't have to get into that or expectations, should I say, because that's a long conversation for me. Branding expectations, player profiling, and accurate stats.
No.
Accurate stats, please. And most importantly, league communication. So this playoff thing that happened wouldn't happen because the league would have announced it. And I don't mean just communication. I mean timely communication, right? Having that open conversation with the fans, letting them know what's going on, stuff like that.
I heard a rumor that the teams have known about this exact playoff format for like a month and a half.
Yeah, but the fans should know it too.
Right.
That's my thing. Like, I know the conversations are happening. Everything is out there for the teams. They're aware of it. They're planning for it. Why shouldn't the fans? Obviously, the team should know before the fans so they can, share the news with the fans, and it's only right. And yes, Eric, 100% glass up. 100%. I was a guy that, yes, I was a guy that believed in glass down. If we can come up with a new technology where we could disassemble glass right as soon as the game ends to open it up to fans, that would be great. But I would love to see glass up. I was a person that didn't like glass up until this season.
Just have what's his face, Demi Garcia. Just have him clear a ball off the glass right before the game is over. Wasn't that him who shattered the glass in Sonora?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, just have him go around, and it'll be like an exhibition game. And then if you catch any of the pieces of glass, you can take them home with you as a souvenir. So yeah, I agree with you. I think what we need is like a hologram technology, so that the ball will bounce off the hologram, but then in between like stoppages of play and everything, it just goes away, and you can. I know there's a lot of people who don't like sitting in front of the glass now because they can't see. Because if you watch a game, I mean, the fans are leaning all over the place. Sorry, I just leaned into my mic there, but they're leaning over the boards and watching and things like that. And
so I will say this: Chihuahua Savage, they created their own boards, which are really great boards, but they can tear it down and take off the glass. I think they said within 5 minutes. So, and that's for the whole surrounding. So imagine, if they could do that, why can't we just take down two sides of the middle, right? Like maybe like 3-4 sections of the glass. That's not going to take any time. But again, they would have to have that same technology that Savage has, right?
yeah.
So, there is that. But I do love the glass. I love the speed of the game. And I also just like how different not different, but how it keeps the ball in play. And it also makes the whole field a battle and not just the ends.
I love the fact that all of a sudden we're in the third quarter. And it's like, holy crap, the third quarter is almost over. I hate the fact that all of a sudden we're in the third quarter. There's a couple minutes left. And it's like, holy crap, the third quarter is almost over. Because it does make games go fast. I mean, you could expect 2 hours for most games.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the St. Louis versus Tacoma where Brian. Was it Brian? No, one of them. I can't remember who said it, but it was like the first 2 quarters took 45 minutes.
Yeah, the game was basically over before the KC game started.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they went into overtime for just like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I switched over and, I had the other screen up, but I focused onto the other screen, and the game had maybe just begun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it keeps the time great.
Actually, KC was a little bit late starting the game, and I'm guessing it was because of the fog machine again.
Oh my God, I noticed that too, and I'm like flashbacks of All-Star game.
Yeah, because when they started, it was really foggy still.
Yeah.
So, So now, as far as the long-term stuff, this is more technical stuff. I don't even know if we want to get into that, but established coaching and reffing education and licensing within the league, right? Just to make sure the coaches are trained, refs are trained. Any team looking to join M1 has to go through a trial year in M2. Has to. I know this is spoken about, but I want to make it official, right? so that financially they can see if they're okay, and so that they don't come up and have a Rochester kind of a year. just putting that out there.
Yeah.
And then the two biggest things I want to see is salary caps, maximum minimums, roster sizes, and then the most important thing is bringing a third party for the league. It can't be just run by owners. So someone that has no stake in the league, whether it's fan or just a third party consultant firm, whatever, just to make it non-biased. So it's not like owners like saying, oh, this benefits me, let's do this.
Yeah.
That's
John
the most
Sosa.
important thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would change a lot of what is wrong with this league, because a lot of the decisions I see happening. So, for example, Florida being the first to announce the playoffs, right? Who did that benefit? Nobody but Florida. And I guarantee you that was decided because of the Florida's owner.
So if things were reversed and Florida was in second place by 0.13%, do you think they make that announcement?
I think they do. I think the reason they allowed Florida to make that announcement is because they weren't going to host any games, any of the playoff games.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, you're not going to host semifinals or finals, but you can announce the playoffs format first.
It kind
Make
of
sure you
reminds me of
spell
last,
every other word
reminds
wrong,
me of last season. Didn't they announce that they won the championship even before the league said anything?
Yep, they sure did.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So like that kind of stuff can't happen because like owners, okay, Florida makes an announcement before they're supposed to, right? They're not going to fine them because they're the ones like the ownership is running the league.
Right.
Now, if it's a third party, they're going to hold the owners responsible.
Right.
So that's why I think it needs to be some kind of neutral party that holds this.
Yep, I agree.
Not the fog. Eric, you guys need to control your fog machine.
Yeah.
It was not the fog. It was Ontario getting off on the field, delaying getting Ontario on the field,
Oh no.
which was fine because it made sure that you could watch the whole St. Louis game first, make sure that was over, and then start the KC game.
What is Matt doing?
I don't know. Are you doing somersaults there or something? Or?
Yeah, I do that before I go to bed. I just start doing flips and whatnot.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so that I would be obviously focused more on branding and stuff like that. So no real crazy law changes or anything.
So Brad says all information disseminated to the public should have to be approved by the league first.
Yes.
I think it should come from the league. I mean, just there should be no
Yeah.
question that there should be no way a team makes their own announcement on the playoffs. The team should share the league post.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
not
they have been. They've been doing that this whole season where the league posts something and every team shares it, right?
Right.
Why was this different?
Because it's
Because
Florida.
it's the first ever appear now.
First ever Appinance.
I tried to type that today. I almost hurt myself.
I want to say I could have sworn Florida did make the playoffs their first or second year in the league.
No. They were not very good.
No, I think one year they were all right.
Last year?
Let me look.
No, besides last year. I know it was.
It wasn't their first year.
Maybe it was the year Harrisburg got second.
So it was they went 8-12 their first year and missed the playoffs by one spot.
Oh,
That was
okay.
2016-17. And then 2017-18 they were 10-12, missed the playoffs to Syracuse and Baltimore. 2018-19 they were last in the South Central at 6-18. And then last year they were the champions. Congratulations.
Okay, so it is first Evitt. Okay.
First Evitt appearance.
First ever.
Appearance.
You guys are
Pyrenees.
never gonna let that go.
No, I'm not. Because there's no way. Okay, I understand if you're sharing, because we see this in like local news all the time, where they'll make a typo in their little header before their story, but there's no excuse for the headline of the story, because that is also what creates the URL for the page.
Yeah.
So
You can change the URL though.
I think throwing that first place in there, it's just kind of
There's no need for that.
it's dumb. The whole
But
thing.
again, why did it come? Like I shared it as the page. Like, why did it come from Florida? I just can't find a reason. I get probably just to benefit Florida, but I don't get it.
Do you really think so? So we were told that an announcement probably wasn't going to be made today.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we saw Florida make it, and then the MASL kind of was like, okay.
Well, 2/3 of the Florida announcement was the MASL's announcement word for word.
Yeah.
So they definitely got, unless Florida wrote it first and MASL took out their first paragraph and put it and made it their own. If that's
or
what
the
happened.
or the MASL sent it to all teams and was like, hold off on doing this until we make the announcement. But Florida's like, no, we're gonna.
Which is very possible. But again, yesterday, I think it was the KC game. Nick and Eric said that there was a possible announcement on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I think what happened was the deal, and I think that might have had to do with having St. Louis possibly host the finals, which just seems weird to me. So if we have, say, KC versus Ontario, why wouldn't that be in KC? Or Ontario? Like if it's KC versus Ontario, you have the two best broadcasts.
Now here's a question for you. Would you rather see 4 games in KC or 4 games in St. Louis and have the final in KC?
I would rather see an entire season, every single game played in KC, than another game ever played in Florida ever again for as long as I live. Did I answer a question?
No, not at all.
That's a good one. I really like Shelley and the St. Louis organization.
Yes, agreed.
And all their fans, except for maybe 2 that also happen to be the 2 that are banned from in the box group. But they just don't have the same broadcast product. I mean, they had 983 and 838 fans at their 2 games. So obviously, and granted, it's because of COVID. It's because of restrictions and the fact that a lot of people are just not comfortable going to a game in public yet. But if you look at the product, you should be selling as a league your best product. And that best product right now is KC. However, I think Ontario will be a close second. It's too bad Ontario couldn't start playing games when they came in the league. And we have to wait until essentially the last weekend of games for them to host any. I like the idea of other teams playing each other in Ontario, but I don't think any of the playoffs should be in St. Louis, except for maybe the first round where St. Louis hosts the game.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, whether that means they're in KC or Ontario, at that point, it doesn't really matter, but you play to your strengths for a pay-per-view broadcast are your strongest broadcast, and that's not St. Louis right now.
Yeah, that is true. I think KC, and we got to see how Ontario is, right? We're going based off of last year, which was a phenomenal broadcast, but assuming that everything
2 years in a row they had it because they did it for the 11 sports year, where they changed. I think they hired a whole new crew and changed all their equipment, and they had a good broadcast anyway, but it went from good to like excellent. And LaSharon says, yeah, we're going to bring it this week in terms of production. Yeah, absolutely. That game was gorgeous to watch.
So assuming that it stays that way, then I don't see why you wouldn't rather have it there or in KC. It just doesn't make sense. And I get that St. Louis is trying to get to that level, and I personally appreciate that. Shelley and the organization wants to push that boundary to get there, but it's not there yet.
Yeah. It took 4 years of me bitching about it to get the audio fixed. So great. Now we need to go to, and then this year they upped to the resolution of the camera. So they've been able to do this resolution the whole time.
Yep.
And they just haven't, but they still can't get it in focus half the time. The Sunday game was finally a really good step in the right direction, but then hire a camera guy who could follow the damn ball. Don't switch these weird angles in the mid play.
Oh, did you see? Hold on. Sorry. Did you see it was like when they went into overtime, they started the overtime, they had the split screen where it had like a gray line in the middle and it was like a split screen. Because they were watching both ends. I'm like, why?
Yeah, there's some questionable things. KC, so here's the thing. KC completely missed a goal. But then not only did they not make a big deal about it, but they went back and they got replays and got the right angle and got it shown. And it went on, but the whole broadcast was so good, it didn't even matter by then. It's not like when you miss a goal after goal after goal, or you switch your camera angle and you like, what just happened? And then a goal goes in and then they yell and they scream and you just have no idea what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we can call it there. And next week we will have Eric joining us. That should be exciting.
It'll be about 9:30 Central, maybe a little bit early. He's coaching or calling a game or being important. And as soon as he gets home, he'll jump on and we'll have a whole bunch of game recap starting. We'll do the recap of the games. Maybe give out another corn dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, we should give out a corn dog to the person that guesses which teams are in the playoffs correctly.
Oh my God.
Problem is, I could post that in the rules. Like step 1, like this post. Step 2, list all the teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and there would still be people who would get it wrong. Because we had like 30 people more that liked the post than actually commented on it. So we had like 30 people that weren't involved in the corn dog.
Can you imagine all those entries in the wheel? Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah.
Which helped me. I didn't have to type them all in, but
yeah.
Congrats to Chris Funk again for winning the corn dog.
And thank you for sending your address so fast. I really appreciate it. I can get that out to you faster.
Yeah, terms and conditions. We need terms and conditions on these things.
We do.
All right.
Yeah.
So everyone, games start Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific. The one thing we didn't go over?
What's that?
The Pacific time. Ugh.
Well, it gets worse.
What's that?
Hang on. Stop. Bad dog. What? Sorry, we're having
events like this. If he cuts it at this point, I swear to God.
No. So Saturday, March 13th, the game is at 5 p.m. PST. Saturday, March 14th, the game is at 3 p.m. PDT. Daylight saving time is Sunday morning, March 14th, where we switch from standard time to daylight time. So if you're not screwed up enough already, everything's going to be an hour different.
Oh, I got to carry the one. Crap.
Carry the one. Sorry.
Your phones update their time automatically.
I know.
Yeah, but my body doesn't.
Also true.
Like, you know how long it took me to get used to the last daylight saving time?
Probably a year.
4 years.
6. I was going to say 6 months, but.
No, it's like 14 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Like, I have no idea what time it is anymore. If it weren't for my phone, I wouldn't even know where I was at this point because the GPS tells me you are here.
I'm used to Pacific time, so it should be fine.
How are you used to Pacific time?
A lot of my customers work or from
Ah.
based out of California. So
All right.
There you go.
All right. Well, have a good evening, everybody.
I'll see everyone Friday for Hannah's Picks.
Hannah's Picks Friday. You're going to post something before Wednesday then for him or something?
no
Yeah,
matter
yeah,
what.
I'll call her tomorrow.
All right. See ya.
See you. Good
Yeah.
night, everyone.